Okay, so we have one final story for the day. And this story is, once again, it's about um, it's about streaming and how streamers and which streaming service is doing this and why they're doing this. And it's a streaming service that I can honestly say that I will never get. I will never get the streaming service because of the way that it was touted, what the executives have said, and everything else. And that's Netflix. I'll never get Netflix. I mean, I honestly, truly can tell you from the bottom of my heart, I will never, ever, ever pay for Netflix unless I get, a gift card, getting me a subscription because of what their theatrical model, their CEO came out and said, their theatrical model, the all the other baloney that's gone on with them and what they're doing. So, as we all know, okay, or you are pretty familiar with, Netflix came out quite a long time ago and they said that they are um, going to stop the profile sharing and the password sharing. So, this means that if you have a profile, okay, you can, if let's say you're a family of four, okay, you have mom, dad, Jane, and Joey, okay. It used to be that you only needed one account. So mom and dad would pay for the account, okay? And then Jane and Judy, or Joey and Judy, whatever, the kids would be able to watch on that one streaming service, on the one profile. Now, what they are doing, and this is clearly, clearly trying to make more money. The one thing that Netflix cares about is memberships. Okay. They want memberships. Higher memberships means higher revenue, means everybody's happy. Okay. What they are trying to do is they are trying to get everybody to sign up for Netflix. So, as it's going to be moving forward, you're not going to be able to put anybody on, but you will be able to put somebody on with the price. And this comes to us from the THR, okay? And this talks about the headline reads Netflix password sharing cracking down beginning in the United States. Netflix is bringing its password sharing deterrence to the United States. On Tuesday, the streaming giant began rolling out its page share feature. Its page share feature in the United States, which requires that all account users must be in the same household and live in the same location as the primary account holder. Users living outside a household will be able to join on the main account for an additional $7.99 a month, though standalone Netflix subscriptions begin at $6.99 a month for the ad-supported tier and $9.99 a month for the basic plan. As part of the rollout, primary account holders will be prompted to set a household location on their devices, though subscribers will still be able to use their accounts when traveling. Non-household members will be singled out based on the factors like how often that device has used the Wi-Fi at the primary location, according to a Netflix spokesperson, and be prompted to transfer the product to a new Netflix subscription. Primary account holders with premium subscriptions can add up to two new non-household members to their account for the $7.99 fee, while standard plan subscribers can add up to one outside member. The paid add-on feature is not available for those on the ad-supported or basic plans. The United States rollout arrives roughly 3 months after Netflix began its crackdown in Canada, New Zealand, Portugal, and Spain earlier this year. The rollout has already resulted in a larger paid membership base in Canada, according to Netflix Q1's earnings, even though there has been a cancel reaction in each market, which impacts near-term membership growth. end quote, after the news is announced. As borrowers start to activate their own accounts and existing members add extra member accounts, we see an increased acquisition of revenue. For example, in Canada, which we believe is a reliable predictor for the United States, our paid membership base is now larger than prior to the launch of the paid sharing, and revenue growth has accelerated and is now growing faster in the United States, Netflix said in the letter. Okay, let's talk about this. They're just greedy. That's at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, okay, Netflix is just greedy, okay, plain and simple. And they want to get and squeeze every single dollar they can out of you. Not only are they going to make you pay for an extra member, but what they want, okay, what they're hoping you do, unless you're a single male or a single female, is they want you to pay an extra $8 a month so that you can put somebody else on there. So let's say, okay, by the way, as it said in the piece, you can't get this if you get the basic package. So let's say that you just want the basic package, okay? You can't add them on, okay? So more, they're making you pay every single, this is all the different ramifications for a number of reasons. Number one, they want memberships. We know that. Number two, there are a lot of older adults, okay, that aren't that technologically advanced, that let's say their son or daughter has a Netflix account, okay, what they will probably try and do is they have to go get their own account, okay, which means that Jane X or John Doe is going to have to pay for that. Okay, now you can say, well, they will, take it out of their account. Sure. But at the same time, why? Why are you doing this unless you want more money? And people are not going to pay for ads. I just talked about this in the story previous. Okay? They're not going to pay for ads. So, of course, they're going to get the higher tier. And of course, they're going to add people. It doesn't make any sense. So, at the end of the day, all Netflix is trying to do is get more money out of you guys. That's it. It's all about memberships. It's all about, their stock prices, which, by the way, is about $350 last time I looked, and everything else. But they have so many other problems that this is what they have to resort to. It used to be 10, 12, 15 years ago, you could watch Netflix and there was no problems. Then they started making original films and series and whatever, and that started to cost them money. And the only revenue that they had was from their memberships. Okay, I'm a member from I don't have Netflix, but I'm a Netflix member. Okay, I only pay them, let's say, $9.99 a month. That's the only thing that they used to have. But when they started making things like The Crown and movies like The Irishman and, all of these other original pictures, then they said, we gotta really do something here. We gotta get some more money in because we're paying out more than we're getting back in. And subsequently, what ends up happening is that they have to put an ad tier in. So they said, how can we create more revenue? Oh, I got it. Let's charge for advertising. And, I just did a story a couple of weeks ago. They are now starting to get more and more and more people with the ad tier because they don't want to pay for advertisements. This is just Netflix being greedy at the end of the day. And with a CEO coming out and saying, we don't support the theatrical window, and by the way, keeping Glass Onion in there for 1 week, okay? 1 week, making $16 million. And at the same time, they pull it out of the theaters, and the theaters are asking them, oh, well, can you keep it in for a few more weeks? And they're basically saying, oh, fuck you. We're not going to do that. We want our memberships. And even Ryan Johnson came out and said, and he signed a lucrative deal with Netflix. Had I known this, I would have pushed for more of a theatrical window for the film. I wonder, which makes me wonder down the road a couple of things. Number one, okay, is Ryan, because they're going to make it, the first Glass Onion film made a whole lot of money, okay? And the thing is that it was, I love Knives Out. I love Knives Out. And so it was, I actually watched Knives Out right before I was going to go see Glass Onion. Okay. It made $312 million. Okay. Worldwide. $312 million. That made $165 million in the States. It was only made on a $40 million budget. So it made its money back plus some. Okay. Glass Onion, okay, was made, I believe, and I could be wrong about this, I believe it was an $80 or $90 million budget. Okay. So this says 40, but I don't believe that for a minute. I think it was more of like 70 or $80 million. But the fact that they took it out of theaters, okay, and it it made nothing. I just don't understand that. But Netflix is all about memberships, and they want your money, and they will try and charge you as much as they can for as long as they can before they say, nope, I'm done. And now that you have people that are, because look, money's tough right now. Let's call it spade. This isn't like 10 years ago where the economy was booming and everything else. Money is tough right now. Inflation is hitting everybody, okay, including yours truly. So, that being said, not a lot of people, you're going to see cancellations and everything else. And of course, you're going to see more people come back, or of course, you're going to see more revenue come in because of they're going to sign everybody else up. Netflix I have nothing good to say about Netflix. And the way I would do it is, as far as the Academy Awards, because don't forget, guys, All Quiet on the Western Front just won 4 Academy Awards. Okay. And they turned around and said, well, theatrical isn't our model. I would basically say, look at Air. All you have to do is take a look at Air. Anybody who's seen that, and by the way, guys, you can go check that back, check that out on the channel too. Air was a perfect example. Okay. That movie has made $75 to $80 million. That has made its budget back plus some and that just hit Prime the other day. That's going to be profitable. Okay. When you have Apple and Amazon saying we're going to invest $1 billion into the theatrical over the next 12 months, and then you have somebody like that, Netflix, turn around and say, I'm good. If I were the Academy, I would say, look, if you want your streaming movie to be considered for an Academy Award, okay, it has to be in theaters for 30 days. The window is 45 days. You don't have to keep it in the whole 8 weeks, okay, a whole 7 weeks. but it has to be in for at least 30 days. If it's not in for 30 days, I don't care how good the film is, you will not be considered. And if Netflix doesn't want to do that, then that's on them. But I guarantee you this, that the fact is that people, when I say people, I mean actors and actresses and directors and everybody else, they're going to want to have this in there. Because if they make the best outstanding film and it's not eligible, they're going to be pissed. Pissed. Anyways, Netflix, anyways, guys, what do you think about all of this? What do you think about the password sharing, the crackdown on this? Do you think this is a good thing for Netflix? Do you think this is a bad thing for Netflix? Do you have Netflix? And if so, would you actually put somebody on your account for an extra $8? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments and I'll get back to everybody. Okay, so we are done for the day. It was a big show, 6 stories. I mean, a couple of them basically were kind of overlapping, but they were definitely necessary to talk about. At the end of the day, you had a couple of stories like Disney and streaming, but they were all necessary to talk about. Fast 10. So, a couple announcements for you guys. Number 1, tomorrow the show is going to be a little bit different. So, we are going to have on Jeremy Fowler. And Jeremy Fowler is a reporter, box office reporter for The Wrap. And thank you, Deadpool. Why did I call you Deadpool? Thank you, Deadpool. So we're going to have on Jeremy Fowler tomorrow. He is a box office analyst, and he writes for The Wrap, which is one of the trades here in Los Angeles. Trades are THR, Variety, Deadline, The Wrap. So we're going to have him on tomorrow. We're going to talk about stories, okay? We're still, but this is going to be, it's not going to be a Q&A, and we're going to talk about how he got his start and everything else, but we're also going to talk about some of the key things, like, what's coming up in June. I mean, we've got a huge June slate coming up for you, okay? Here on the channel, in theaters, Across the Spider-Verse, Transformers, The Flash, Indiana Jones, all that. How are films going to do? Are they going to, what's going to happen with that? We are going to be talking about, when the strike might end, if it's going to end. He just put out a tweet the other day that he could see this lasting throughout the summer, and that's not good business for anybody. So we're going to get into all of that stuff tomorrow. So tune back in. It will be at 3 Eastern Time, 12 Pacific. That's the first thing. Number 2, guys, don't forget, we've got a bunch of things coming up in the channel. Not only you guys are getting the daily shows, but I am doing a Mission Impossible rewatch series. I just did Mission Impossible 2 a couple weeks ago. I'll be doing the third one, in the next day or two. Be sitting down to watch that. This is all going to be leading up to July 12th and Dead Reckoning. So we got that. Also, if you'd like to support me, we got Father's Day coming up in a couple of weeks. Okay. Head on over to the store there. Okay. We've got a bunch of cool things. We've got t-shirts. We've got sweatshirts. We've got hoodies. We've got mugs. Great gift ideas. And, they're cheap. And that's the thing that everybody likes. They're cheap. And at the end of the day, it'll help me out. Patreon. So there's another way you can help me out. There's 2 different levels. Okay. One is $5 and one is $10. $5, you're going to get Mob Mondays. You guys have spoken. It's the Untouchables. Okay. 1987, Brian De Palma, Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, Andrew Garcia, Robert De Niro. I'm going to, basically, I have all the notes down, do a stream, talk about that. $10 a month It's going to get you both Mob Mondays and Rewatch Wednesdays. This month for Rewatch Wednesdays, it's going to be Training Day with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke. So stay tuned for that. So that's another way you can help me. Super chats, of course, anybody that drops in and, likes the content. And guys, I just put up a trailer the other day. I'm going to see if, what, because I'm going to see if I can't locate this. So, okay, here we go. So this is, I've been meaning to get this trailer made for a long time. And I spent a little bit of money. And when I say a little bit of money, it was only $70. But I tweeted this out the other day. This is for brand new people that are wondering what this channel is about and everything else. This is the trailer I'm going to have up for brand new people that have come into the channel. They want to know more about it and everything else.
In a world, there was one channel that had everything you needed when it came to stories about Hollywood.